We are live.
Good morning, councillors, officers, and members of the public who are live streaming the meeting. My name is Councillor Emily Dimitriadis. I'm the Mayor of the City of Darebin and the chairperson of this special council meeting. I declare this meeting open at 9:04 a.m. The meeting is being live streamed and a recording will be made available on the council website as soon as possible after the meeting. The meeting has been scheduled by 3 councillors as a special council meeting pursuant to Rule 1.1.2 of the Governance Rules, with notice of the meeting published on Council's website on Friday, the 19th of December 2025. I note that pursuant to Section 15.1.1 of the Governance Rules, public questions and submissions can only be made at an ordinary council meeting. Pursuant to Section 1.1.36 of the Governance Rules, unless all councillors are present and unanimously agree to deal with another matter, only the business specified in the notice calling the meeting is to be transacted. Any discussions relating to confidential information under Section 3.1 of the Local Government Act 2020 will require council to move into camera pursuant to Section 66.2. I would like to begin by acknowledging the Wurundjeri Wurrung people, the traditional owners of this land. I recognise their continuing connection to land, water and culture, and pay my respects to elders past and present, and extend that respect to all First Nations people here today. I would like to welcome and acknowledge all councillors, our executive leadership team and officers joining us online this morning. There are no apologies today. The next item on the agenda is disclosures of conflict of interest. If any councillor or relevant staff member has a conflict of interest in relation to a matter on the agenda, they must disclose the conflict of interest and the nature of the conflict of interest. Any conflicts of interest must also be declared immediately prior to the item being considered. Councillors and officers, are there any conflicts of interest to declare? If during the course of the meeting any motion or amendment is put that gives rise to a conflict of interest, I request that a councillor advise me at the time. Council's occupational health and safety responsibilities. I would like to remind everyone that Council has an occupational health and safety responsibility to ensure anyone attending today's meeting feels both safe physically and emotionally. Councillors, I kindly ask you to be respectful of one another and to remain a civil tone speaking. If anyone does engage in conduct that is improper or disorderly, including words that are racist, sexist, or homophobic, the chairperson can direct that person to cease their conduct and the person must comply with that direction. Moving on to item 5, consideration of reports. Today, the item we have to consider is Darebin's commitment to peace. Councillors, do you have any questions of the officers regarding this item? Councillor Jelly.
Thank you. Through you, Mayor. Can staff advise what consultation has been undertaken with community leaders in the last week or so about the Palestinian flag and flying the peace flag?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Through the chair. Thanks, Councillor Jelly. In the last week, I haven't spoken to community leaders about this matter as it came about through the notice and the discussions with councillors on Friday. I can confirm that on the 13th of December, in relation to an initial agenda for a council meeting that included a flag policy, I did speak to a senior representative at the Preston Mosque to let them know that item had been listed. That's the only conversation the last few weeks now. Otherwise, consultation has been received from community to the organisation, and there has been a significant volume of that consultation. Thanks.
Are there any further questions? Councillor O'Brien.
Thank you. I think I just got in before Councillor Villela. Just if we could, in high level terms, I guess without going into too much detail, but just some context for the safety issues that were being experienced last week that have brought us to this point would be useful, I think, for people watching.
Through the chair. Thanks, Councillor O'Brien. I assume that you are asking me to refer to staff safety matters, not broader safety issues. So throughout the 2-year period that the Palestinian flag has been flying at Preston City Hall, we've had some periods that have been experienced with greater attention from the community towards staff about the issue. In the last week in particular, we've had a significant rise in the number of contacts we've had from the community who are understandably mostly in a state of distress given the circumstances that Australia has seen. That has included people in person coming into council buildings and being extremely distressed and directing their sometimes anger at staff, significant volumes of phone calls along similar lines with difficult and challenging behaviour at times directed towards staff, people who have bailed our staff up outside of our council buildings just for being identifiable as Darebin staff, and a significant volume of written communication as well, with varying views. Certainly there are many views about this issue, but there has been a lot of difficult behaviour and language directed at staff in particular. Thanks.
Councillor Villala, did you have a question?
Just my the question refers to at the introduction you said, Mayor, that Darebin is committed to peace. Can we just elaborate as to in what context, where? It's just a word, but we just need to know exactly where the peace that we support is. Is it?
I don't think
Sorry,
you're directing that to the officers, are you?
Yeah, I just wonder whether, is it a local, is it international? Because we're all committed to peace, but I think we require a bit more detail as to where that peace is directed, emphasised. I think the community need to know. Well, I would like the community to, I would like to, if I'm part of Darebin, to be a bit more detailed about our commitment to peace. Otherwise, it's just a word.
So through the chair, I think this is something clearly that that councillors will be speaking to shortly, I would think, Councillor Villala, but from a CEO's perspective, I have consistently heard councillors express their commitment to peace and safety, equity and inclusion in the Darebin community, for the Darebin community, for people who visit our Darebin municipality. I've heard that expressed for people who live across our state, across our nation, and in many places overseas. So that is what I have heard, but councillors will speak to that themselves.
Are there any further questions? If there are no further questions, we will commence the debate. I remind you that once we enter the debate, there will be no further questions. Do I have a mover of the motion? Councillor Villala.
I have an amendment that I put forward. Is it going to be shown on the screen or?
Councillor Villala, yes, it will be shown on the screen. I'm just not sure. Has it been sent to Governance Services?
Well, I just emailed the amendment basically saying that I emailed it through.
That's okay. If you could just send it to Governance Services, the team will just pop it up. They're just about to share it, I think. They're just in the Zoom environment, they'll share it through the screen in just a moment. Won't be a second.
No problem. And I've just sent it through. Sorry, my apologies.
That's okay. The team will just pop it up on the screen. Won't be a second. Thanks for your patience.
Thank you, Anna.
Mayor, can I ask a question before we enter debate?
Sure, Councillor Jelly.
Can officers please confirm if we have any unused flagpoles?
Through the chair, I'm not aware of any. So I can take it on notice, but at this point, I'm not aware of any unused flagpoles.
Can I just respond? I was advised that, well, I thought we did have an unused flagpole. So I was given incorrect information. So where does that stand, Mayor?
Councillor Villela, would you like to change your proposed motion?
Well, that would, if we don't have another flagpole, do we have another flagpole? Are there any officers or that can confirm or deny that now or correct that if it's incorrect?
So through the chair, there is a fourth flagpole. So we fly the Australian flag, the Aboriginal flag, and the Torres Strait Islander flag as our standard national flags in our general office locations. So Preston, our operations centre, our Bundoora Park site, one or two others. So we have those standard national flags. We have a fourth flagpole at Bundoora Park, and I am of the understanding that a transgender flag or a LGBTIQA plus flag, I'm not sure which flag exactly, but one of those flies at Bundoora Park on the fourth flagpole. We have a fourth flagpole at the Preston site, and that is where the Darebin flag, the Palestinian flag is flying. They're the two poles that I am aware of that don't have national flags on.
Okay. Well, can I just put that we can fly the peace flag on another flagpole to be determined. If we can just change it to those words, another flagpole to be determined, maybe Bundoora Park. Would that be okay? Or would that require another motion to bring down one flag that's flying? Can I get some advice on that, please?
So through the chair again, Councillor Villela, as I said, we don't have unused flagpoles that I'm aware of. The fourth flagpole at Bundoora Park has a flag flying. So if you are proposing to replace that flag, it would be good if you were clear.
Okay. So therefore, in the amendment, if I could just change the words to, if we could just put it back up on the screen, that would be great, Anna. At the temporarily fly the peace flag at Bundoora Park, yeah, by removing the current flag for a period of 3 months.
Thank you, Councillor Villela. The team's just working on that and we'll show it shortly.
Thank you.
Councillor Bryan, did you have a question? I noticed you had your hand up before.
Thank you, Mayor. No, thanks.
So yeah, by flying the internationally recognised peace flag on the flagpole at Bundoora Park, replacing the current flag for a period of 3 months.
Councillor Villela, did you have the word by temporarily flying the international recognised peace flag? Did you have the word temporary?
Okay, that by the international recognised peace flag on the flagpole, but for a period of 3 months.
Yeah. I thought you mentioned temporarily, that was all.
Yeah, no, it's just let me see, recognised peace flag on the Yeah, do we need to actually state to replace the current flag? Recognise the peace flag on the flagpole at Bandura Park for a period of 3 months? Do we need to actually state replace the current flag with, to be very clear?
Through the chair, there are only 4 flagpoles at Bandura Park. I think if you say alongside the national flags, then it's clear that this becomes the 4th flag.
Okay.
And there's no question about which one's coming down.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have a seconder for this motion? Given that there's no seconder for this item, that motion lapses. Councillor Arturi?
Can I move the motion in my name in that case? Sorry. Did I come through?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Just waiting for it to come on the screen.
Thanks. Thank you.
Is that your motion on the screen, Councillor Arturi?
Yes.
Do we have a seconder?
There's just a typo in it. The Palestinian flag.
Oh, yeah, instead of he. Thanks, Christine. Thank you, Councillor Laris.
Mayor, I'd like to move a procedural motion to adjourn this meeting until Tuesday, February the 10th at 4 p.m.
Sure.
Do we need a seconder for that?
Yeah.
I'm happy to second that.
Okay, so we have one moment while I gather my thoughts. Okay, so we have Councillor Jelly has called a procedural motion to defer the item of business till, I think it was the 2nd of February. Is that correct?
Tuesday, the 10th of February at
10th
4
of
p.m.
February. Tuesday, the 10th of February at 4 p.m. Councillor Villela has offered to second that motion. I'll put that item to the vote. All those in favour? So that's carried by Councillor Jelly, Councillor O'Brien, Councillor Boglis, Councillor Sangster, and Councillor Villela. I declare that motion carried. Oh, sorry. All those against? So that's Councillor Demetriadis, Councillor Arturi, Councillor Tsalkos, and Councillor Laris. I declare that motion carried. Before we close the meeting, as we only had one item on the agenda, I would like to thank everyone who has been following this special meeting online. This meeting was called on the 19th of December, while I had attended my grandfather's funeral, and I appreciate the understanding shown in what has been a difficult and emotionally charged period. Due to the short notice and the time of year, this meeting has been held virtually rather than in person. I acknowledge the many community members who have written to or contacted councillors. While this special meeting does not allow for public submissions under Darebin's governance rules, the depth of feeling expressed has been heard and taken seriously. Darebin has always understood that solidarity is not selective and that peace is not something we speak about only when it is easy. It is a commitment grounded in the belief that our humanity is shared, our struggles are interconnected, and our responsibility to one another does not stop at borders. In recent days, our nation has been shaken by the tragic loss of life in Bondi. We mourn those who were killed, we grieve with their families, and we stand in deep solidarity with all those whose sense of safety has been so profoundly shaken. We reject hatred and violence in all its forms. No act of terror or dehumanization can ever be justified, and no community should live in fear because of who they are. At the same time, we cannot turn away from the immense and ongoing suffering of people across the world. My solidarity with the Palestinian people remains steadfast. I acknowledge the devastating loss of life, the displacement, and the profound injustices that Palestinian communities continue to endure. Their pain is real, their dignity matters, and their lives carry equal worth. These are not separate truths, they are deeply connected. Across the globe, we are witnessing the consequences of violence, exclusion, and unresolved injustice. From Gaza to Israel, from Ukraine to Sudan, from Myanmar to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, civilians continue to bear the cost of conflict. When our community suffers, it reverberates through all of us. Peace is what binds us across difference. It is the shared ground on what justice, safety, and dignity can exist. Peace does not erase struggle. It makes it possible to confront it without losing our humanity. In Darebin, we believe that solidarity must bring people together, not pull them apart. We believe that leadership means holding grief without ranking it, standing for justice without division, and choosing humanity even when the world feels fractured. By affirming our commitment to peace, we affirm our commitment to one another. We affirm that hate will never define us, that violence will not shape our future, and that our shared humanity is stronger than anything that seeks to divide us. This is how movements for humanity are built. This is how peace is sustained. And this is how we move together forward. Thank you. I have no requests for an urgent motion, and we will move on to the next item. Councillors, there are no confidential reports to be considered. As there is no other business to consider this morning, I would like to declare the special meeting closed at 9:26 a.m. Thank you, councillors, officers, and community members viewing the live stream.